Hello, my friends. Jacob is here. Once again, I thank you and you and you and you and even you in the back there for joining me, for pressing play, for spending time with me, for doing all that you do to keep us connected, for sharing and subscribing and liking, and thank you. Thank you all. Today, we're going to be talking about Trump's tax plan. That's right. Yeah, it's not good. It's really good for the billionaires up top. You know, those people that are pulling the strings, those people that really don't care about the environment. And yeah, we're going to be talking about the environment too. We're going to get into that. We're going to talk about endangered species. We're going to also talk about an amazing new find that has to do with the multiverse theory. That's right. The idea that as I'm talking to you, there's an infinite amount of possibilities of how this conversation can go. Hope it goes in a good direction. There's also an infinite amount of me's and other realities taking place at the very same time. Guess what? Science has now said we found evidence of it. So, as the rich are getting richer, and each and every one of us is stressing out about that new launch from North Korea. That's right, they're gonna test another one. It's gonna happen in a day or two. I'm doing this video on May 1st. I always thought May Day was gonna be a big day. So the news about this, I'm not surprised. But let me tell you something, while we're all being stressed out about that, there is more going on behind the scenes. So we need to pay attention to not just the big stuff, but even the little stuff, especially this tax plan, because it affects each and every one of us. We're gonna get into it. I know it sounds boring. It's not. We're all gonna touch on it a little bit. You don't have to be an accountant for today's show, but you do need to educate yourself. So buckle up, people, because that's what we're talking about today. Now, I've told you in prior videos that the powers that be, they like to tell you things ahead of time that they're gonna do. They like to make little jokes about it, where they say little things and they joke about it, and then we find out that's exactly what's happening. Well, guess what? Obama, the man who said in 2009, what did he say? Oh, I'm not coming into office to cater to the Wall Street people. That's not the best in Obama impersonation. But, when he said that in 2009, did we really believe him?
I did not run for office to be helping out a bunch of, fat cat bankers on Wall Street.
Because guess what? Just now, he is now talking to Wall Street. Yeah, I'm going to make about $500,000, $400,000 to go out on stage and talk for a little while to hedge funds and everything else. And, basically he turned his presidential career into a moneymaker. He's going to get himself his Tubmans, right? Well, guess what? Back at the White House Correspondents' Dinner, he joked about it. Just like he joked about other things that came out, like he was joking about Trump taking the White House.
Here we are, my 8th and final appearance of this unique event. And I am excited. If this material works well, I'm gonna use it at Goldman Sachs next year.
I did not run for office to be helping out a bunch of fat cat bankers on Wall Street.
Earned me some serious Tubmans. That's right. That's right.
This man this man who's running our treasury This man, I don't even want to call him a man, this boy. This little greedy, selfish boy. There was actually a story out where a 90-year-old woman, she actually got kicked out of her house and her house was foreclosed on. Why? Because of a 27-cent error. So let's not forget, when we're talking about this tax plan, who's really in charge here and what really is going down. The bottom line is there are now going to be 3 tax brackets as opposed to there were like 7, okay? Now, the reason there were is because that everybody makes a little bit difference in money. Now, the bottom line is right now, the middle class, they're going to be hit the hardest. While those up the top, they're going to be getting substantial Benjamins in return. So after the 3 tax brackets are in place, let me tell you about what they're going to do, right? They're going to double your return, okay? So if you were a single household, you're making around $6,000 as a return, right? Well, they're going to just double it. So now you get 12. And if you're, if you're a multiple family house, so you're married, you're going to get like 24,000 in credit. I think that's the way it works. They're going to double that. But here's the big problem, right? They're going to get rid of all of the deductions. Now, look, if you have an accountant and you do things like my wife is a teacher, okay, and she works in one of the poorest school districts there are. And right now, the gang MS-13, I don't know if you've heard about them, it's a nightmare. That's where all the killings have taken place. And, she just loves these children and she's just an amazing teacher. And she spends so much of our money to help these children out because a lot of them, they don't have pencils, they don't have pens, they don't have books, they don't have crayons, they don't have glue, they don't have anything. It's not like me and my wife that we buy all of our, our 4 children. We've always bought them all of the school supplies on a list. A lot of them come in, they don't even have food. They don't even have clothes. My wife's bringing in clothes for the children. A lot of them, some of them live in foster homes. Others live on the streets. But my point is that we spend a lot of our money to help these children out, and the government allows deductions. So we can write all of that off. Everything that's associated with it. We can also write off, when my wife travels from here to work, the mileage. Now, me, myself, I have a lot of write-offs, right? So I can write off buying new equipment that I do for, this video here. I can write off a new computer if I want. All of these things that help us, to basically live our lives. Now, they're going to get rid of it. Just going to keep the mortgage and they're going to keep charitable donations, okay? So it's really not a great deal because a lot of people that itemize, well, that's where you actually do okay. And now with the itemizing gone, people like us, we're going to be in big trouble. But let me tell you why we're going to be in big trouble. Because if you live in a high tax state, guess what? You can't write off state tax anymore. Yeah, they're going to get rid of that as well. Under the new plan, tax breaks for charitable giving and mortgage interest and retirement savers, they're the only ones that stay in place. Everything else is gone, people. The administration now wants to eliminate the deduction also for state and local taxes. Now, I live in New York. Taxes are through the roof. I mean, crazy. It's insane how much money I pay to live in this home, which is a blessing. Thank you. But I can write that off. No more. It's going to be a great thing for all the rich people too, because they can actually claim themselves to be this. It's like sort of a corporation. I think it's called like a push-through corporation, where what they can basically do is, instead of getting taxed 35%, they're going to now get taxed 15%. That's right. People like Donald Trump, they can, because of this new law, they're going to get taxed less than, say, a maid working in one of his hotels. He is going to be paying less tax than the people working in his hotel. And I'm going to be paying an extraordinary amount of tax just to get by. Not to mention a corporation just bought out my company. That's right, I have a full-time job. I work for a living. And when corporations take over, big business, what happens? The pay is not just stagnant anymore. If you're like me, you know that we're making less money and everything's costing more. And now we're going to get hit on the tax end too. Not great. You know what else they're going to get rid of? This is, really good for all of us, right? The death tax, okay? So basically, you know, if you die and you make multi-millions of dollars, it's not going to be a big tax anymore. You can just give your money away. Well, here's the thing, right? Most of us don't make that. So that's not really benefiting any of us. It's actually benefiting all of these mega millionaires who want to pass on their wealth. And guess what? All that money that could go towards education and healthcare and programs that can make this country great again, right? Great period. They're going to be gone. But who's going to foot the bill? We are, people. We are. They're going to repeal this inheritance tax completely. Okay, so look, they're going to cut the corporate rate. This is the big one, okay? From 35 to 15%. It's the most aggressive in their plan. I mean, there's a lot that goes down, but this is just, look, this is just kooky. I'm not an accountant, you know, I'm not a tax lawyer either, so don't get your advice from me. But I recommend each and every single one of you, please do look into this, because it's going to affect us. This is not great for the average American. It's not great for people that are poor either. It's the plan really seems to be about making the rich richer and making an even bigger gap between the top and the bottom. They're going to lump us all in as like peasants, as serfs. It's like the feudal days. It's hard to live today. You know, no matter how many more subscribers I get, or how many more people watch videos that I do, or how many more books that I sell, or how many more hits I get on my website, or how many more freelance jobs I get for, it doesn't matter. It seems today you just can't get ahead. People are working harder for less. Now, thank God that I have faith in a little bit more than this system, because I know that there is a way out of all of this. I talk about the way out a lot. But look, we have to get involved. We have to, we have to ask questions, and we have to contact our local officials. If you voted for a senator or a congressman, or you have to send them information and say, we want a plan that we can understand and something that's going to help us. We don't want itemized deductions taken away. I mean, as it is, one of the ideas to begin with was to get rid of Social Security. Now, there's another thing coming up a lot of people don't know about. And if you're a teacher, you do know about the Constitution, where they're going to try to break up the Union again. This country is on the brink, and we need to find a way to come together peacefully and let our voice be heard and say that we can do better. We put people in power because they are the ones that we are told to put in power. Right? You don't have that much choice. How many people did you really choose those two candidates? Or were they forced upon you? And then were we told a bunch of stories? Were we given a story to believe in? That Donald Trump was for the working man, and that Donald Trump, that the system hated him, and that, he was against Wall Street and everything else. I said it all along, people. I did say, the man was given hundreds of millions of dollars. He inherited it like right out of college. And he is the system. The Clintons sat front row at his wedding. They're friends. This is all a big show and a big distraction. And as concerned as I am about the state of the world, of what's going on in Korea, because now they say that they're going to launch yet another test. They're going to do it once again. And we're launching a test today as well. Yeah, it seems like we're on the brink, right? As this is going down, I almost feel like all of that noise is kind of a big distraction to keep us off of the other hidden agenda, which is to fleece us even more. We're all human beings. No one is greater than another just because they were born with more. We're all human beings. There's a new TV show on Hulu called Handmaid's Tale, which is just, it's like a dystopian future where all of a sudden, one day, boom, women don't have rights. And, the elite, they're in power, and that's it. You can't protest, they start shooting you, they kill you. It can happen. It can happen because we're all asleep at the wheel. We need to wake up, we need to educate ourselves, and we need to make our voices heard. We need to at least send an email or make a call and leave a message. Doesn't take but 10 minutes. And the more people that do that, well, guess what? They have to listen because they want to stay in power. They want their little piece of the pie so that one day they can game the system and then leave with that big $500,000 speaking engagement prize on a regular basis like Obama. Sometimes I feel, I don't know if it's just me, but sometimes I do feel like the world is just bonkers. It just doesn't seem right to me anymore. It feels weird. I see people, and a lot of them just seem to be very, very sad or angry and very, very self-absorbed, right? How many times have I said it's the selfie generation? It's all about narcissism, right? It's all about me, me, me. Forget about everybody else. But I know all of you that watch me, I know that you're not like that. And the surprising thing is that when you are a light in darkness, other people start to shine as well. I can't tell you how many times I've gone to somebody who's in a bad mood, or I've been in an area where you see people just going down the wrong place emotionally, and all I have to do is just smile and say something kind. And then you watch their face change. Words have power. People don't realize how powerful our words are. You take the S off of the words, put it before a word, you have a sword. Jesus had a double-sided sword that came out of his mouth. Words, they cut both ways. They can cut down an obstacle, or they can cut down your life. They can give life or destroy it. Everything exists as vibration. That's right. Even God spoke, and the vibration created everything. So our words have power, people. So don't think that little old you and little old me cannot do something about what's going on in the world. If we don't want things to go a certain way, guess what? It won't go that way. All we have to do is lend our voice to it. Look, there's a lot that's going on, right? The world today doesn't seem to be the way I remember it when I was a child, and it doesn't seem to be the world that I want my children to raise in. So I want us all to start voicing, our concerns, and I want us to start changing our environment by speaking in a better way and by seeing things in a different light, not focusing on the negative, but focusing on the good, not focusing on the bad that's in our life, but focusing on the things that we can do to make things better. And that includes talking to your congressman, right? To get that tax plan kiboshed, get something else put in place that's going to give all of us a fighting chance. It's not enough right now that, 17 years in a row, globally, we're hotter than ever. It's not enough that the coral reef is dying and bleaching like never before, that Hawaii now is banning suntan lotion. It's not enough that they can't understand why humpback whales are dying off of the East Coast. I mean, like in record numbers. It's not enough that we're facing environmental challenges like never before, climate change, even food production costs. And with some estimates saying that, I mean, we're in a critical time right now, historically, people. And so to have the people at the helm thinking selfishly, and have the people at the helm thinking about how they can enrich themselves and not really thinking about what they can do for all of us is not the kind of leadership that we need. So we need to come together and voice our concerns in a peaceful way, in a positive way. And I'm just talking about getting in touch with your local government. Maybe doing something that can make the world a better place, starting some kind of a movement or some kind of a fund, or, bringing awareness to people, sharing this video to other people that don't know much about the tax plan, sharing your concerns and your thoughts and your hopes with those people who maybe are in power who can do something about it. Our voice, our thoughts, our hearts. We are here for a reason, and that is to change things in a better way. And I know that each and every one of us can do that if we set our minds to it. It's an interesting time we're living in. And I want to see each and every one of you live better than before. I want to see each and every one of you get ahead instead of feeling like you're behind. And I know that you can. And just because everything on the outside seems to be madness doesn't mean on the inside that peace and that, that surpasses understanding can't be found within you. Have some faith in more than yourself. Have faith in more than Donald Trump or your government. Have faith in more than that. Have faith in yourself as well. And show your love to those that are around you. And shine that light, because that's the only way things are going to turn around. Now, I see a better day. I say it every week. But I also see things getting a little bit darker as we speak. So I'm hoping that you all can help me to turn on the light. I love each and every one of you. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please do subscribe if you haven't and share it around. And remember, I'm here every Tuesday. Do me a favor, give somebody a hug, be that light in the dark room, and tell someone that you love them. I love each and every one of you, and I will see you next week, same time, same channel. Bye-bye.